Good morning, this is Shelby Law with Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Briefing for Friday, April 11th, 2025. Shown here for the past 7 days on the left and the percent of normal for the past 30 days on the right. It has been a bit of a drier pattern recently, although we've seen some precip in the last week over Idaho and mainly central and southern Utah. Over the past 30 days, Nevada's been on the drier side for sure, with Idaho and Utah and even western Wyoming seeing some of those storms. Snowfall for the past 72 hours is shown here. We have had some recent snowfall, although it has been a few days over the central Idaho mountains. Current snow depth is shown here. We're looking at an image here on the left from about a month ago, March 11th, and then the current information for April 11th. We have seen a decrease in our overall coverage of snow. If we look back a month ago, we had pretty good coverage over Idaho, southeast Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, and many of those areas have been shaved back a bit, but we are still seeing pretty decent snowpack remaining over the higher elevations of central Idaho, western Wyoming, and over the highest elevations of Utah. Overall, compared to normal for the time of year, however, our snowpack is still looking decent, even above normal for some areas over western Idaho and northern Nevada, and then near normal along the Sierra Front, eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and northern Utah. But we do see those values over southern Utah, central and southern Utah, and southern Nevada coming in below normal for the time of year. Okay, this morning's satellite imagery is showing an area of high pressure remaining in place over the Great Basin, leading to some very warm temperatures today. We will see a trough moving through over the next couple of days, however, for a bit of our change in our weather. Again, for today, a high pressure ridge in place across the area, and then we can see that trough beginning to move into the Pacific Northwest, bringing some cloud cover and precipitation to the north today into tomorrow there over Idaho. Ventilation rates are high today. And transport winds are picking up today over mainly portions of Nevada into parts of western Utah. Not super strong winds, but definitely elevated. Mixing heights are generally high everywhere across the area. And tomorrow we see that trough swinging through quickly over Idaho and into the northern Rockies, which will drag a cold front through most of the area Saturday into Sunday. Ventilation rates are very high tomorrow. And the winds do pick up tomorrow as that low progresses east through the area. So pretty gusty winds over the Snake River Plain and into western Wyoming and over portions of eastern Utah as well. And then mixing heights once again are very high. On Sunday, again, still sitting on the backside of that trough for cooler temperatures across the area. It'll be the coolest day of the week. Over the next 7 days anyway, will be Sunday with generally northern to northwesterly flow and ventilation rates still looking pretty good across the area. Transport winds decreasing on the backside of that low and mixing heights still remaining pretty good, pretty elevated. Again, the main change we're looking at for the next couple of days is a drop in temperatures. So today is a very warm day, near records in Utah with highs in the low 80s. A little bit cooler further north, closer to that trough. But by Sunday, the temperatures really drop everywhere. The biggest change will be over Utah with about a 20-degree temperature drop in western Wyoming as well, only highs in the 40s there. In some areas and over the central Idaho mountains, we could see some cooler temperatures there with highs in mainly the 70s to upper 60s in Nevada on Sunday. The clearing index for Utah for the next few days also shows very high values with good dispersion, good clearing for the next few days. The 3-day precip totals are shown here. Again, mainly this is mainly precipitation coming along with that trough today into tomorrow over the central Idaho mountains. Otherwise, generally a dry cold front further south. Monday, the ridge begins to rebuild across the Great Basin for continued dry conditions and gradual warming moving into the area. The ventilation rate still looking pretty favorable on Monday. On Tuesday, the ridge remains the dominant feature, but there is a little low pressure center here that moves eastward through the southern Great Basin, which could bring some clouds and maybe a slight chance of a storm here or there, mainly across southern Utah. Ventilation rate still staying decent. And on Wednesday, the little low moves out of the area to the east with generally just warming temperatures and dry conditions continuing across the area. The ventilation reads do begin to decrease a bit on Wednesday with the continued ridging in place. And more of the same expected for Thursday. Should be up to the upper 70s, near 80 degrees for highs once again by next Thursday. And the precipitation accumulations for days 4 and 5 are really light. Maybe again we might see a stray storm or two in that Tuesday time frame across the higher elevations of central and southern Utah. And the extended forecast for April 18th through the 24th calls for continued above normal temperatures across the Great Basin and below normal precipitation expected, especially over Idaho and Nevada. That concludes today's briefing. Please check back on Monday for the latest updates.